Afternoon all, welcome to C-Talk. Today we're joined by PepsiCo, Shopt and Sid from Budgens in Kenilworth. So I'm going to come straight to Vandana first. Vandana, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Hi everyone. Firstly, thank you for this opportunity and really pleased to be here. I'm a digital product manager on the e-com team, been with PepsiCo for 3 years and I live in Reading. Really excited to be here.
Thank you. Olivia?
Hi, I'm Olivia. I head up digital capability for the UK part of the business. Thank you for having me.
Thanks. Dave?
Thanks, Paul. My name's Dave Allen. So I'm head of Shopt, the business app for convenience retailers here in the UK.
Good. And then Sid?
Hello, I'm Sid from Kenilworth, operate 2 sites, including St John's Budgens.
Good stuff. So look, thanks everyone for being on. And today it's great that we've got a brand. We've got the guy, Dave here from Shopt, and then we've got Sid as a retailer. So we're bringing it all together of what's come through. So I'm going to come straight to PepsiCo first. So as a category leader in convenience, how did PepsiCo approach this channel?
So for us, we're just really deeply committed to the long-term success of the retail partners. For us, we don't want to be seen as just someone selling products. We want to make sure we're collaborating closely with them, we're sharing the insights, and we're really giving them the tailored support that they need. We know that we're a vital role in on-to-go shoppers, and we want to make sure that we can work in a partnership with them to unlock new opportunities and just really help them to drive their growth.
Yeah, and really taking that deep dive into the category as well, right?
Absolutely.
Good. What steps have you taken to support retailers?
I think one of the things that we have done very recently is launch the Max Your Snacks guide. And that's like a guide that offers clear, actionable strategies around space allocation, product placement, leveraging price mark packs, and recommendations around how retailers can win shoppers' trust and boost sales in their stores. And I mean, so there has been a lot of PR, and including Shopt, we've launched it on Shopt as well. And I hope that retailers will really benefit from that.
Good stuff. And what's important to your business and the way you interact with retailers?
So we just really want to make sure that we have a partnership and we just really add value. We know that the convenience landscape in the category is changing rapidly. So we know that we just want to be those strategic partners, those trusted advisors, whether it's category insights, tailored recommendations, the promotional support, and just really make sure that we help the retailers to stay competitive.
And the way you guys do that as well, you've got in-store presence as well as the digital presence as well. And that comes through really nicely, yeah?
It definitely does, yeah. I mean, historically, before we did digital, we could only have the traditional feet on the street. But by giving the digital, it really gives us that continuous connection.
And that teases really up for the next question. So tell us about your partnership with Shopt, because that's digital, right?
I think I can talk about this all day for years and years because I've been working very closely with the Shopt team. So for me, the partnership has been truly transformational. What Shopt has allowed us to do is scale our retailer engagement and have that always-on engagement in between visits, and specifically for stores where there's no rep with contact. Through Shopt, we're giving rewards, insights, Facebook planograms, and everything that the retailers can access at their convenience. And that's the beauty of digital, because you can have an always-on presence.
Good. And that's enhanced the digital interaction with the PepsiCo brand, right?
Hugely. I mean, as I said before this, we were traditional face-to-face models, which were really restrictive in the amount of stores that we could touch, the amount of retailers we could engage with. Now we are, connected with far more retailers and able to give them a really personalized interaction. So as I said before, the real-time insights, the recommendations, but it helps make sure that the category and the retailers are top of mind, giving them the support they need to as many retailers as possible. They have everything they need on their phones, on their iPads, whatever device they use. And I often say to the retailers, how long does it take you to make £20 on the lottery machine? How many lottery tickets do you have to sell? You have to have your store open, you have to have it manned, the lights on. But when you've got Shopt, you could do it at home just before the store opens. It's on your phone. It's not time bound. It's really giving them the empowerment that they need whenever they need to do it.
I mean, they're a great team at Shopt. I've been very fortunate to be working with them for a long time now. So I put my retailer hat on. We love it in store. And I know it's a great way of having partnerships as well. So Shopt is that platform to create that partnership. And I think it's worked really well for PepsiCo as well. Good. So let's come to you now, Dave. Tell us a bit about Shopt. What's it designed to do for brands and retailers?
So Shopt is an app that's been around since about 2018, and we service the convenience retail market. So Sid's 2 stores and sort of another over 50% of the other sort of 36,000 truly independent retailers here across the full breadth of the UK. And we were born very much of what Liv spoke about. Feet on the street is hugely influential and hugely important. I don't think anybody can build advocacy like a person walking across a threshold, but that is hard. You cannot reach every retailer, and you cannot reach them as often as you would like to. So Shopt is a singular place that allows sort of brands and retailers to connect whenever and however suits them. We work across multiple different brands, so we've got category leaders in most of the categories that are important to retailers, PepsiCo being a core part of that. And that means that for people like Sid, he can go into one app in one place as and when suits him, and gain rewards on his crisps, snacks and nuts, on his alcohol, on his confectionery, the things that really drive value for retailers. And that's been really important to us.
So how important is it for Shopt to be working with brands like PepsiCo? If we just,
it's hugely. The answer is it's hugely important to us because PepsiCo is hugely important to retailers, and if we're not working with the brands that help people like Sid drive revenue through their tills every day, as Olivia referenced, then we're not serving their needs. What we really like is that retailers become advocates for brands that take the time to engage with them, take the time, value the importance of the convenience retail sector. It's, growing on a £50 billion market. It's hugely important. And not every brand gives it the time and attention that it does. Those brands that do, and PepsiCo's one, retailers really appreciate that. They appreciate that direct engagement, and they appreciate that holistic approach. And Vandana spoke about the Maxwell Snacks Guide. That doesn't just speak to PepsiCo products. That speaks to the whole category and what retailers can do to grow their entire convenience, their entire crisp, snacks and nuts category. That's really important. And then retailers see that, they understand that, and they respect that. So for us, it's really important.
So how do you ensure the activity on Shopt lines up with what other PepsiCo have in their activity?
I think we've been really fortunate, and Vandana spoke about the relationship we've built over sort of a number of years now, and Vandana has been a really core part of that. Shopt has moved to the point where we're sort of a key part of the deployment of PepsiCo in the channel. We have dedicated, we've got a really close working relationship. We have dedicated resource. We fully understand. We're brought in very early to what PepsiCo's plans are for the year, and we are equally from their side. We're not an add-on at the end of the process of what they do in field. When they think about how they deploy a new product in the marketplace, Shopt is a core part of that deployment. And if you think about a recent launch for PepsiCo, the extra flaming hot dynamiter. Now, PepsiCo took a really brave choice here. They've given that as an exclusive to the convenience channel because they value the channel and the way they put that out through field and through Shopt. They've thought about that combined view from the very beginning.
Okay, very good. So what kinds of activity do you host on Shopt for PepsiCo?
So we host an awful lot of different types of activity, engagement pieces, sort of videos, content. A huge amount of what we do is distribution driving offers. So, retailers, we know they don't have elastic shelves. They have to make very hard choices about what they do and do not put on their shelves because they've got to make sure that every square inch pays back money for them. A lot of what we offer is what we call distribution driving offers. So if, for example, we know PepsiCo field reps being in store, had those really important conversations, sold us some product, but I equally identified some product gaps, we can follow up with that on Shopt with another offer to encourage that retailer to offer them money for putting that product in their store. And we really see that as you're asking that retailer to do that, to do something for you, to put a product on their shelves, and they deserve to be fairly remunerated for that. And that's what we help PepsiCo and a lot of other brands to do, is to engage with that retailer and fairly remunerate them for putting a product on their shelves.
Good. And then tell me, how did PepsiCo partner with Shopt for success?
as Vandana says, it's been a work of many years. We've worked together in terms of how we sort of automate the processes behind the scenes and how we link up what happens in field to what happens in Shopt and vice versa. So there's a really seamless interaction for Shopt as part of PepsiCo. They've let us into their business. They've let us understand what it is important to PepsiCo, and they've allowed us to influence how they deploy that. And that's really been that measure of success. It's a very collaborative relationship.
And that's what's come out from both from PepsiCo and from Shopt. It's a collaboration that's making it the place for the retailer to go to. And I think it makes it easier for that retailer rather than having 16 different reward systems going out there on 16 different places. And, Sid, we're going to come to you, this just makes it so much easier. We know where we are. Shops are hosting it with the partnership with the brands, and you're making that easier transaction for the retailer. And I think this is how we collaborate together and we drive success. So that's really good. So Sid, look, you've done your introduction. You've got 2 great stores in Kenilworth. You're not too far from me. You've got a great post office that you just opened up recently, which your wife runs, and you're at St John's at Budgens, and you've got a great looking store. Tell me about key challenges facing your business right now.
I think the headwinds that the whole channel currently faces, and we're all in that kind of same boat, so to speak, is, we've got minimum wage, national living wage going up literally as we speak. We've got business rates, increases in business rates, national insurance contributions, and, since the pandemic, let's be quite honest, the overheads of running a business such as this is it's gone up significantly. And all of these things are in addition to a significant increase in operating costs of running a business. So, we've never been under so much pressure as we currently have. And, having support from brands within our sector, it's never been as important now as it has ever been. So it's tough.
Yeah, it's been a hard start, right, with all the impacts that are coming in, and we've got some more impacts to our business in June with some regulatory stuff. So it's been hard. So how important are big brands like PepsiCo to your business, Sid?
I think ultimately, I think we are, convenience is a very brand-led. It's a very familiar place for consumers. It gives consumers a lot of confidence, comfort. Having brands such as PepsiCo, it's massive for us guys. We have a huge range in store across different categories. And these are the types of products that, we should be stocking, everyone should be stocking, and consumers expect us to stock, more importantly. And actually, having people like Shopt there, just augment that. They bring that whole kind of thing full circle for us. And it's just a reminder for us to make sure that we're stocking these things at the right times, and you're being rewarded for it, which is a win-win.
And what kind of interaction are you looking from them in your store?
I think, we obviously get PepsiCo reps on the street, and I think that in its own right is valuable. But the digital engagement we've been getting, and actually, the reps, when they come in, they remind you of these things as well. They will remind you of the fact that you need to get on your Shopt, and these are the current live activations. Scan and win. It's pretty straightforward stuff. It doesn't take too much time. So yeah, it's hugely important, and having signpost brand such as PepsiCo on Shopt, I think it's hugely important for us guys. So it's certainly.
You've done something good last week in your store with Max Your Snacks, right? With PepsiCo.
Yeah, so we did a big activation with it's the Max Your Snacks and Doritos Dynamiter. So yeah, we did all kinds of activations in store where we had things. The whole the whole bay was signposted, fully enveloped with Dynamiter imagery above, floor stickers on the floor. And we also had displays at the front of the store with spin to win, which consumers loved. Anything that kind of engages the consumer, gets them kind of to be involved. They're automatically kind of bought into that product, that brand. And I think, it's great. It's great to have these things and great to activate these things, and it creates huge buzz. And we had a lot of fun with it.
So it creates great engagement with your community, doesn't it?
It does, 100%.
Good. And how do you find the digital interaction from them on Shopt?
Yeah, I think PepsiCo, obviously being one of the long-standing members on Shopt, there's constantly new things happening. So it's great for retailers to make sure that they keep coming back and check to see what is live. Whether it be a claim thing, whether it be a competition. There's all kinds of things constantly on there. So it's a great way for the retailers to make sure that they're getting back on the app and they're not losing out on the reward. So make sure you got your notifications on, because those notifications are great little reminders for you to get back on there and to scan, take a picture and win.
Yeah. And how does digital connection help you grow your business? Because you're good at this, Sid.
Yeah, digitally, I think it just gives you broad reach across every type of age group, every type of group, ethnic background, whatever you want to call it. It's just a great, very simple way to reach the maximum audience you possibly can. So having a huge digital footprint, for your consumers, or whether it's within the industry, I think it's massively important, and it's a very easy win. We actually employ a lady who does all ours for us, and she's constantly putting things out there, and you see the reciprocal effect of that. You do see people coming in and people discussing it, talking about it. I've seen something on Facebook, for instance, or this is on whatever platform. It's I think every retailer, if they haven't got a digital footprint in one form or another, needs to get on it, really.
Good. So Dave, it's a great collaboration. This is PepsiCo, Shopt, and Sid. For the retailers that aren't on Shopt today that want to get involved, tell us what we need to do.
We, like Sid, we're across a variety of different social media platforms. So you can find us on Instagram, on TikTok, on LinkedIn, on Facebook. And as I say, we're at the NCS. Or find us, drop us an email if you've got any problems. hello@shopt.co.uk. But we're there on the App Store. We're there on Google Play. So we're as easy to use as any other app out there.
Yeah, and thank you, Dave, and to all the team at Shopt, because you just made it easier for a lot of retailers to have that interaction and to get all their points actually into one central place. You made it a lot easier for all of us.
Thanks, Paul. I'm sorry to cut you off. It is, it's been a real privilege to work and understand this channel, and it's really great to hear people like Sid talk about the investments he's making in that digital footprint. He's got to compete for customers up against some of the really big boys, and it's fantastic for me to see how agile this channel is, and we see Shopt as we're really delighted to be part of that, and it allows brands like PepsiCo to reach retailers. But we've got a retailer on the Shetland Isles, we've got a retailer in the Channel Islands, and allowing those retailers to interact with brands like PepsiCo alongside any others is so important to us.
Yeah. Well done. So thank you from me from Sea Talk, and have a great weekend, everyone.
Thank
you. Thank you all.